Chapter 1. How do you see yourself? To know oneself, one should assert oneself. Albert Camus. To begin, it helps to first understand how you see yourself. This means looking at who you are, what you believe about yourself, and where you think you fit in the social hierarchy. Understanding these things is important because they affect your ability to communicate assertively. For instance, if you see yourself in a negative light, you will have difficulty standing up for yourself. You may feel intimidated when asked a direct question or for your opinion. You may even lack the confidence to look someone squarely in the eye when speaking to them. Asking for clarification about a policy at work may be only slightly less painful than a heart attack. In addition, with a limiting self-perception, you may focus too heavily on negative traits. Thoughts such as, "I'm not very good at handling conflict," "I don't feel comfortable saying no to someone in authority," or "I don't know how to ask for what I want," may reverberate in your mind each time you're faced with a situation in which you need to trust yourself. Your self-doubt may cause you to remain silent in confused self-preservation, preventing you from effectively expressing your needs and wants. This can be illustrated in Catherine Stockton's novel, The Help, which focuses on the lives of African-American maids working in white households in the segregated South of the 1960s. In several touching scenes, the main character, Aibileen, gently tells her young charge, May Mobley, "You is kind. You is smart. You is important," something the child's mother would never tell her. The irony is that Aibileen doesn't believe those same things about herself. She is afraid to make eye contact with her employer, walks with a pained gait, and certainly doesn't stand up to the unreasonable demands she faces from the family for whom she works. This passive character does not see herself in high regard. As a result, she is unable to be assertive. She lets others talk down and walk all over her. Abileen's self-perception prevents her from effectively standing up and speaking out. Self-evaluation. To understand how your perception is affecting you, let's begin with a self-evaluation. Below, we present two tests. One is a quiz, and the other is a hypothetical scenario. The quiz will give you a better understanding of what is going on for you internally, which will establish whether or not you have assertiveness issues and to what extent. The scenario will assess your communication skills, gauging your ability to interact with people. Take some time to reflect on each question so you can answer them as truthfully as possible. Self-evaluation. Quiz. 1. Begin with your level of eye contact. Do you look people in the eye when speaking with them? If you can't remember a facial feature or eye color, you're likely looking anywhere but in their eyes. 2. Now consider your voice. Do you project yourself? If you are often asked to speak more loudly or to repeat what you've said, you probably speak quietly or mumble. 3. Do you speak confidently? Stumbling through conversations with ers and ers doesn't communicate confidence. 4. Look at your stance and then your body when seated. How is your posture? Do you slouch or look down? 5. Looking internally, are you able to ask questions when you need clarification? 6. Do you feel comfortable around others? 7. Are you able to say no when you don't want to do something? 8. Are you able to express annoyance or anger appropriately? 9. Do you offer an opinion on a topic when you don't agree with someone? 10. Do you defend yourself against mistakes that aren't your fault? After taking some time to truthfully respond to each question, review your answers. Notice how many questions to which you answered no. If you answered no to 2, 3 questions, you are likely a self-assured and reliant person. Although you experience difficulty here and there, compared to the average person, asserting your needs and wants is not a challenge. If you in fact experience challenges, they may be due to your specific approach rather than an inherent inability to act assertively. It is possible you are coming off as aggressive rather than assertive. We will address the correct ways to approach assertive behavior. If you answered no to 4, 6 questions, there is a high chance you see yourself in a negative light. As a result, you experience more difficulty than the average person in communicating your needs and wants. While you may assert yourself on occasion, it is a test of will for you. You often second-guess your decision to act and replay numerous what-if scenarios before acting. If you answered no to 7 or more questions, you have significant difficulty in this area. Not only do you doubt that you are worthy of respect, but you probably see yourself as lower than others in the social totem pole. Even though you yearn to stand up for yourself, you never do. You always back down, coming up with reasons or excuses as to why backing down was the rational choice. When you lack assertiveness, you do not live life on your own terms. Instead, you let others take advantage of you and run your life. Non-assertive adults don't know how to say no, which overburdens their schedules as well as their mental well-being. Self-evaluation scenario. Let's look at another self-evaluation. Let's say that you want to go on a trip. You don't want to go alone, so you are thinking about inviting your friend Julie. How would you approach asking her? The assertive person will present the idea clearly and with respect for his or her friend. The person may approach it like this. Hey Julie, I could use a vacation because I'm feeling like I need some pampering. I would love to go somewhere tropical in the spring and enjoy the beach and some hiking with you. Would you be interested? Could you please check your schedule to see if you'd be available? This dialogue is respectful, yet full of information about your wants, vacation, beach time and hiking, and needs, the time of year you're available, and your need to feel pampered. The overly aggressive person might say this. Julie, I'm booking my vacation for the beach next week. I want you to go, but you'll need to let me know right away if you can come. I've already picked a hotel by the beach for the second week in May. You'll need to pay me your half up front and book your airline ticket. None of this dialogue would put Julie in a vacation mood. She'd probably feel more like a hostage on this getaway since all decisions have been taken out of her hands. A passive person might approach the same situation this way. Julie, I've been thinking about a vacation. Don't know if you'll want to go, but I guess the beach would be okay. Let me know if you can go. This conversation would probably make Julie feel as though she's the last person on earth you want on your vacation. She's also not likely to know where or when to go. She will probably be left feeling that it's now up to her to plan your vacation together and you'll just be along for the ride. Again, what would your normal approach be to the situation? Would it be that of a passive person, or would it be that of an overly aggressive person? If you see yourself as not worthy of people's time, they aren't likely to listen to you when you do speak up. If you see yourself as better than someone else, you're likely to discount their opinions and push your agenda right over theirs. Assertive behavior never loses sight of respect for others. It allows for a balance of expressing your needs while respecting others' needs. If you want that vacation with Julie, the best way to get it is to set boundaries about what you want and respect her wants too. Besides, if Julie's truly your friend, you'll want honesty between the two of you. Though it may sound overly simplistic, the golden rule of do unto others as you would have done to you is a perfect way to approach assertive communication. From the above quiz and scenario, determine where you stand as it relates to how you perceive yourself. Do you see yourself in low regard? Are you overly passive? Do you expect others to make decisions for you? Do you have holes in your boundaries that people exploit? If so, then you have to first change your self-perception. You need to change it from weak to strong. To be an assertive communicator, you must stand on a strong foundation of self and have the view that you are a person worthy of respect. If you don't have a strong foundation to stand on, assertive communication will not work for you. Building a strong foundation. In this section, we examine 2 ways to develop a healthy self-perception. We start by establishing your rights. Then we help you improve your beliefs about who you are and the value you bring. Together, these 2 will make you feel more secure about who you are and your rights as a person. They will provide the positive support you need to ease into the assertive process. Bill of Rights of Assertiveness. The Bill of Rights of Assertiveness, from Manuel J. Smith's book, When I Say No, I Feel Guilty, is a set of rules that gives you internal fortitude and serves as a reminder that you are worthy of respect. Shifting your mindset and using these rights as boundaries will allow you to assess your needs and wants calmly. It will help remove many of the passive feelings like guilt, doubt, and fear that can cause you to second-guess your decisions or actions. Assertive Right 1. I have the right to judge my own behavior, thoughts, and emotions, and to take responsibility for their initiation and consequence. The behavior of others may have an impact on me, but I determine how I choose to react and/or deal with each situation. I alone have the power to judge and modify my thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Others may influence my decision, but the final choice is mine. Assertive. Right 2. I have the right to offer neither reason nor excuse to justify my behavior. I need not rely upon others to judge whether my actions are proper or correct. Others may state disagreement or disapproval, but I have the option to disregard their preferences or to work out a compromise. I may choose to respect their preferences and consequently modify my behavior. What is important is that it is my choice. Others may try to manipulate my behavior and feelings by demanding to know my reasons and by trying to persuade me that I am wrong, but I know that I am the ultimate judge. Assertive Right 3. I have the right to judge whether I am responsible for finding solutions to others' problems. I am ultimately responsible for my psychological well-being and happiness. I may feel concern and compassion and goodwill for others, but I am neither responsible for nor do I have the ability to create mental stability and happiness for others. My actions may have caused others problems indirectly. However, it is still their responsibility to come to terms with the problems and to learn to cope on their own. If I fail to recognize this assertive right, others may choose to manipulate my thoughts and feelings by placing the blame for their problems on me. Assertive Right 4. I have the right to change my mind. As a human being, nothing in my life is necessarily constant or rigid. My interests and needs may well change with the passage of time. The possibility of changing my mind is normal, healthy, and conducive to self-growth. Others may try to manipulate my choice by asking that I admit error or by stating that I am irresponsible. It is nevertheless unnecessary for me to justify my decision. Assertive. Right 5. I have the right to say, I don't know. Assertive. Right 6. I have the right to make mistakes and be responsible for them. To make a mistake is part of the human condition. Others may try to manipulate me, having me believe that my errors are unforgivable and that I must make amends for my wrongdoing by engaging in proper behavior. If I allow this, my future behavior will be influenced by my past mistakes, and my decisions will be controlled by the opinions of others. Assertive. Right 7. I have the right to be independent of the goodwill of others before coping with them. It would be unrealistic for me to expect others to approve of all my actions, regardless of their merit. If I were to assume that I required others' goodwill before being able to cope with them effectively, I would leave myself open to manipulation. It is unlikely that I require the goodwill and/or cooperation of others in order to survive. A relationship does not require 100% agreement. Others will inevitably be hurt or offended by my behavior at times. I am responsible only for myself, and I can deal with periodic disapproval from others. Assertive Right 8. I have the right to be illogical in making decisions. I sometimes employ logic as a reasoning process to assist me in making judgments. However, logic cannot predict what will happen in every situation. Logic is not much help in dealing with wants, motivations, and feelings. Logic generally deals with black or white, all or none, and yes or no issues. Logic and reasoning don't always work well when dealing with the grey areas of the human condition. Assertive. Right 9. I have the right to say, I don't understand. Assertive. Right 10. I have the right to say, I don't care. As a child, you were probably given things based on your behavior. Good manners may have garnered an extra smile or perhaps a favorite treat from adults. If, however, you were taught that good manners meant never saying no or questioning others, you may have carried that mindset into your adult life. By emphasizing this Bill of Rights in your mind, you will begin to understand yourself and the mental walls you've created over the years more completely. You will realize you don't always have to say yes or have all the answers. Knowing this will give you the courage to stand assertively. The limits that have made you a passive communicator can be removed here and now. Use these rights as a step towards respect for your own needs and wants. Being a person who isn't very assertive doesn't mean that you don't have valuable things to say. It only means that you need to work on finding your voice to say them. The above rights give you that voice. Self-talk. Another way to develop a strong foundation of self is through the use of positive self-talk. If you've never heard of self-talk, it is the dialogue that goes on inside your head. It is the conversation that you have with yourself daily. You use self-talk to think about things, to evaluate decisions, and to have discussions with others and yourself. Interestingly, studies suggest that 80% of the discussions we have with ourselves about ourselves are damaging. We echo comments like, I am stupid, I can't do anything right, or nothing ever goes my way. When you say, hear, or think these statements, you are in effect seeding your unconscious with ideas that take root and grow into a negative and restrictive self-perception. As you learned, it's this limiting perception that prevents people from having the confidence and courage to stand up. Negative self-talk creates a negative self-perception which hinders one's ability to be assertive. To change your self-perception, you need to change your self-talk. That means talking to yourself in a way that empowers you, not in a way that takes away your power. Reverberate in your mind that you are in fact good enough. When you do, you will gain the inner force to uphold your rights. To do this, first, get rid of your negative self-talk. Stop saying harmful things about yourself to yourself. Imagine that you are a traffic officer and your job is to catch discouraging thoughts from entering the highway of your mind. Put the brakes on these thoughts and keep them from coming in. Next, repeat statements that are positive and encouraging. You want not only to stop the negative, but also to start affirming the positive. Affirm words that promote a strong and healthy self-esteem. Doing this will plant new seeds in your mind, seeds that will eradicate the old messages and stem forth a stronger self. To get you started, below is a list of 14 positive statements. They are designed both to develop your self-esteem and encourage you to stand up and speak out. Go through each statement and repeat them out loud or in your mind. I am a strong, confident communicator. I am worthy and deserving of respect. I easily express my thoughts, opinions, and desires. I stand up for my rights. I feel safe and secure about asking for what I want or need. I easily ask for what I want and effortlessly exercise my right to say no. It's my right to say no, and I exercise this right when I need to. I allow myself to receive from others. I am important, my views are important, and my life is important. I trust and believe in myself. I feel for other people, but it is not a reason to be taken advantage of. I am in control. I am comfortable in tense and difficult social situations. I don't let people and outside influences destabilize me. Notice the internal shift you experience when affirming the statements. They give you a stronger inner voice and a sense of empowerment. To encourage you to use self-talk, I would like to say that from experience, I've noticed that most people who are looking to become assertive are looking for a magic pill. In fact, most people looking for any type of change or solution are looking for this. They are hoping that they can simply read a book, attend a seminar, or take a pill and magically transform into a new person or have their problems solved. I believe most people reading this book are looking for this. Unfortunately, life doesn't work this way. There are no magic pills or quick fixes. To become an assertive individual, you have to put in the effort. You have to take what you learn, whether it is from this book or elsewhere, and apply it to your life. You have to try, fail, and figure out what works in different situations and what doesn't. More importantly, you have to go out and experience what it is like to take assertive action. Nevertheless, if you are hoping for a magic pill, the closest thing that comes to that is self-talk. By applying statements like the ones above regularly in your life, you'll naturally become a more assertive individual. You'll find yourself growing into the kind of person who feels little apprehension asserting his or her needs. It will remove much of the struggle one experiences in the growth process. You won't have to think much about what to do or how. Instead, you will find yourself spontaneously doing it. At times, it can seem magical. However, you have to affirm the statements. I recommend affirming each sentence 10 times, twice a day. Do this once in the morning before getting out of bed and once in the evening as you are falling asleep. The standard is to follow a routine for 30 days. Do it, however, for as long as you need or for as long as you derive benefit. When affirming the statements, feel free to change them to fit your situation and needs as well as the problems you're experiencing. If you would like to learn more about self-talk, a good book on the topic is Self-Talk Your Wav to Success. It is an informative guide that illustrates the theory behind self-talk and its practice. In the next chapter, you will learn the building blocks needed for the meshing of your internal perceptions and external perceptions. You'll learn about how your body language and your conversational language speak volumes about you,